11th, 1963. Good morning, Nancy. Where are you listening?
Good morning. Oyster Bay.
Oyster Bay. I hope the oysters are good. You're on with Mary Michele. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Was it 63?
Yes.
April
11th.
11th. Okay. You have the sun in Aries, the moon in Scorpio, Mercury in Taurus. Was there a particular question?
Just about career. What I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Right. Well, this is a dilemma. You have the moon and Mercury opposing themselves. So your unconscious, the moon, and your mind, Mercury, it's hard for them to understand one another. Let's see. You have a lot of fire in your chart, so I think that you ought to be doing something where you're constantly creating new projects. What kind of things have you done in the past?
Well, I'm a CPA.
Uh-huh.
So there's not a lot of creating going on there.
Well, that's the Mercury in Taurus, very good with numbers.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. I think... Can you take this job and use it by working for, individual people? Can you go into companies that might be interesting to you and try to get work through different companies that would be of interest to you?
Yeah, actually, that's sort of what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm independent.
Right. I think independence is key for you. You really do need to be an independent person because with all this fire, the tendency is that you want to, create a lot of change. And you want to, have new projects all the time, which when you work for someone else, they might have different ideas. So I think that's good. You have to keep along in this direction that you're going in. And I want to thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. Have a good day out on the island. We are talking to Mary Michele on Meet the VIP. We'll be talking to Janice and to Catherine, and let's see who else we have. To Richard in Yorktown. We are going to get to Janice, Catherine, and Richard in just a couple of moments. Right now, this word from Marshall Oil. For the best fuel oil service and burner installation, remember the name Marshall. Marshall Oil offering fast 24-hour emergency service, convenient budget plans, and a large inventory of replacement parts. The Marshall family has been committed to serving your neighbors and local businesses for over 57 years, and they're ready to serve you with warm, safe oil heat. Now that the warm weather is here, Marshall Oil services and cleans your boilers to keep you comfortable year-round. Marshall Oil can keep you cool and refreshed all summer long with top-quality pool water at a price you can afford. Marshall's 6,000-gallon pool trucks are as clean as a whistle, and they deliver your water on time. For the lowest possible prices and fast, dependable service, call Marshall Oil, 764-5766. That's 764-5766. Marshall Oil, a name that stands for service. Welcome back to Meet the VIPs with Mary Michele. Let's get on the line with Janice, watching on Cable Channel 12 over in Mohegan Lake.
Hi,
Date
Janice.
of birth, January 29th, 45. You're on with Mary Michele.
Hi, Janice. Was there a particular question?
Just in general and health.
General and health. Okay, January 29th. Okay, the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Leo. Here we have another opposition person. This, the sun-moon opposition. There's this... it's difficult to work with your unconscious and bring things up to the surface. You have Mercury in Capricorn. You're a very, structured thinker. You're someone that is very, very good at making lists and deciding how you're going to go about things. But I think perhaps sometimes you let your inspiration wander. You don't give yourself enough stuff to be, that makes you feel good about it. You have Venus in Pisces. It's exalted. It's the nicest place for Venus. The only tendency with that is that there's a little bit too much purity attached to the love that you give people. It's sometimes a little unconditional, and in that sense, it could come back to you as being, you're giving too much. Mars in Capricorn, that's very good. You're a hard worker. What kind of work do you do?
Well, right now I'm just taking care of my granddaughter, but I used to be a nurse.
Uh-huh. well, you're a very, very good hard worker, but I do think that you need to be, at this point in your life for yourself, you should be looking for something that is going to give you a little inspiration, because you certainly have the discipline down cold. Okay, thank you very much for calling.
Okay, let's get on the line now with Catherine on line 3. Catherine is watching on cable channel 12 in Somers. Catherine, is your son James' date of birth April 17th, 43?
Correct, yes.
Okay, you're on with Mary Michele. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is not your chart, it's your son's.
It's my son, Mary, yes.
Okay, 4/17/43.
This would be in reference to his job and health.
Okay, he has the sun in Aries and the moon in Virgo, Mercury in Taurus, Venus in Gemini. You know, the only indication of, has he had an accident recently?
No, but he's in a bad way because his job is in jeopardy. It isn't much, not what he should be having, but
well, the indications for his health right now are pretty good. The only thing that he has to watch out for is, sudden occurrences, because he might get distracted or something like that. He has to be a little more careful than normal. But I think that in terms of his job, it's a very, very good time for him to go out and try and find work. Is he without work?
oh, he has a very menial job.
Uh-huh. Does he have the initiative to go and find some new work? Is he able to? I mean, would he like to, or is this something that you would like him to do? To go out and find something else to do, some other job?
It's very difficult for him. He has a very sick wife.
He's sick.
Sick, very sick, and he's concerned. It would be very difficult for him to travel, which he has been doing. Has to be locally employed.
Well, what can I say? I think that, what is your birthday?
My birthday is in June 28th, 1916.
June 28th, 1916. Well, he knows that you were there supporting him, and I think he accepts this pretty well. I mean, emotionally and so on. I mean, I think that you have given him a very strong support system. I can't say exactly whether he's going to be able to find other work, or you say that he has trouble traveling. Why is there a need to travel? Couldn't he work at home?
Could work at home, but I mean, no, that's not the type of work he does. But he has a very sick wife, and he has to be around her.
Oh, he has a sick wife. I'm sorry, I didn't get this. Okay. Well, I think that he has to work this through. He has to deal with this issue around the sick wife and figure out exactly how he would like to change. And he is somebody that when he makes up his mind to change, he will do it very quickly. And I don't really think that you can be of help to him in making this decision. I'm sorry I can't be more help than that. Thank you, though, for calling.
Okay, thank you for calling. Let's get on the line now with Richard from Yorktown Heights, watching on cable channel 12. Date of birth, April 28th, 1930. Good morning, Richard. You're on with Mary Michele.
Well, thank you very much. I love your show. I watch this woman over here, and she makes me panic, though. I'm afraid to ask about my health.
Well, go ahead and ask her. By the way, could you turn your TV down just a little bit, please? We're getting a little feedback.
Now.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
You're on with Mary Michele.
Okay, so April 28th, 1930. Well, let's see. You're definitely somebody that likes to indulge. Do you like good food?
Oh, I love it. Are you?
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you have the sun and the moon and Mercury all in the sign of Taurus, so you like things that are very pleasing to the eye and the taste and the five senses.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry?
I said, absolutely, you're right.
Yeah. So, was there something in particular with your health that you were?
Well, I was just wondering, because they say people, I don't know, I read these astrologer reports where the throat and the throat mainly, they said you have to be, people born in April around that time have to worry about their throat.
Right.
And this is what worries me, because occasionally I'm an occasional cigar smoker. I don't like cigarettes. I can't stand cigarettes. And I smoke cigars outside, and I don't inhale them, but I worry about my throat. So I was wondering, should I give them up completely?
I don't, I think that the whole idea of things in life is to be moderate.
Right.
And as long as you do it moderately.
Right.
One of the things when they talk about the issues of the throat with the sign of Taurus is that that's where you hold your anxiety. So it's kind of a vicious circle. If you're worrying about smoking the cigars, then you should definitely give it up. But I think if you could stop worrying about it and be very, very moderate about it, that would be the best.
Oh, you're a gem.
Okay.
By the way, Richard, what kind of cigars do you smoke, if I may?
I'm there with you because I enjoy the show very, very much.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
calling.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Richard, read Cigar Aficionado. It's a great magazine. All right, we're talking astrology with Mary Michele at WVIP. We do have an open line, and to Patricia, who's watching, we will be to you just a couple of seconds away. Open line at 241-1310. Back with Patricia in 1 minute. A hurricane has hit Playland, and it's a new high-thrill roller coaster sensation that's taken the amusement park by storm. Playland's 45 rides are open for summer fun Tuesday through Sundays at 12 noon. Riding has never been this exciting with the new go-karts, the Wild Log Flume and Mighty Dragon Coaster. And there's a great kiddie land with the new Up, Up, and Away, too. Free entertainment features daily news, spectacular fireworks, Wednesdays at 9:30, song and dance, a flashback and Branson night show afternoons and evenings, and puppet theaters for the kids. Playland is open Tuesday through Sunday at 12 noon, closed Monday. Admission and entertainment are always free. Take Interstate 95 to Playland Parkway exit 19 in Rye. Okay, you're on Meet the VIP with Mary Michele. Let's get to Patricia, watching on Cable Channel 12 in Somers. Date of birth, February 8th, 1935. Good morning to you, Patricia. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you have a particular question?
Yes, we have been thinking of selling our house for a long time, and I was wondering if you could tell me if it's a good time or when would be a good time.
Okay, February 8th. You have the Sun in Aquarius, the Moon in Taurus, Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Pisces. I think it's going to be a little hard for you to come to the decision right now in terms of making this, this move. I would say that the indications would be better for in the fall. I know that people like to sell their houses in the summer and so on, but I think that perhaps you're not feeling completely secure about this idea. Is that?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So it's okay. You don't have to do it right now. Do you?
No.
No. Okay. I think you'll have a clearer picture by the end of October. And that would be the time to make the decision one way or the other. Don't make yourself crazy about it right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, thank you for calling, and let us see. We have Helen. Helen is on line 1. Date of birth, August 20th, 1917. August 20th, 1917. Good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning, Helen.
Morning.
August...
About my health.
20th. August 20th?
Yes.
Okay, you have the Sun in Leo, the Moon in Libra. It's very nice, very harmonious. Mercury in, that's the mind in Virgo. Very analytical. Is the health problems to do with your stomach?
Oh, my knee.
Your knee. Is this a long-term problem? Has this been going on for a while? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's probably gone past the worst time of this. The knees represent our structure, what holds us up. If you think about it, you can't get from here to there if you don't use your knees. It's kind of what motivates us and so on in a very structural, down-to-earth kind of way. And I think that you probably have gone through some adjustment in terms of how you want to, spend the rest of your life and so on and so forth. And the place that took that pressure was in your knees. But I think you've already come to a greater understanding. You've kind of worked this out. Have there been other things happening? Have you moved, or has something happened to you in some other area other than your health with your knees?
I want to know if my son is going to sell his business.
Uh-huh. I think if it's advantageous to you, he might sell his business. There's a very good point. But in terms of it, if it doesn't have anything to do with you, I can't really say.
Yes, it does have to do with me, too.
Okay. Well, I think there's a strong indication that, he will. But, I would say probably to not get involved with it. I think you'd be better off not. I think it'll come of his own accord. Okay? Thank you very much for calling.
Okay, thank you for calling. We have an open line at 241-1310, 241-1310. We will be back with Mary Michele in 1 minute.
For a quick oil change, see Pit Stop. Pit Stop. Try us for a change. For convenience, we're your one-stop. Pit Stop.
Now, get a top-quality Quaker State oil change 7 days a week at Pit Stop. Visit any of our locations in Poughkeepsie, Wappingers Falls, Middletown, Newburgh, or Mount Kisco any day of the week. And that includes Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And hey, we're so eager to accommodate you, we stick around till 8 on Thursdays, too. If you have to wait a few minutes for your oil change, suck it up. The dirt, that is, with our free car vacuum located at select stores. Open Sundays, late Thursdays, even free vacuums. Pit Stop and Quaker State. Friendly people doing quality work at your convenience. Guaranteed.
No appointment to arrange. Come on down. The best around. Pit Stop Quick Oil Change.
All right, we have, let's see, on line 3, Dale from Bedford, listening on 1310 a.m. Date of birth is March 3rd, 1943. Good morning, Dale. You're on with Mary Michele.
Morning.
Okay.
Amount of going on for quite a few years, and
I'm sorry? I missed the first part.
I've had quite a bit of change going on in my life for quite a few years. But August 21st is supposedly a big date for me because my divorce trial happens. Wondering what you could predict.
Okay. August, what was it?
21st.
21st. I think that you'll feel a lot more secure in your ability to be aggressive in this particular situation as of the 21st of August. I don't think it's going to be an easy separation or divorce or whatever it is that's, I'm sure that it hasn't been, but I think that the indications are that it will work out for you in the long run. But initially, right at the beginning, it might seem like it's a little difficult. Anyway, I'm optimistic. Thank you very much for calling.
Okay, let's get to Eddie from Putnam Valley, watching on Cable Channel 12. This, by the way, will be our final call. Eddie's date of birth, May 26th, 1955. A little after the fact, happy birthday. You're 40 years old. How does it feel? All that good stuff. You're on with Mary Michele.
May 26th, 1955?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a particular question?
Yes, what's going on in my love life?
Well, I think, Next week is like busy. Is there more than one?
Oh, just one right at the moment.
Just one at the moment. Are you happy with having just one?
Yes.
Good. Okay, well, I mean, I think that next week is certainly a time to, if there have been any kind of little altercations that have gone on recently, it's a time to make sure that you take the person out and that you wine and dine and do different, unusual, romantic things. I would say as of Wednesday night next week is perfect.
I think this relationship's going.
I'm sorry?
Relationship is going. How do you feel it's going?
The indication, probably last month was not a particularly good time for you. I really have to look at both charts, and I'm kind of running out of time here. So maybe you could call back and we can look at both of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. You will be back next week, Mary Michele?
I will.
I got to tell you, I am impressed by the people who have called and the answers we have been getting. We will see you next week on Meet the VIPs. Now you can go rest your voice.
Right, exactly. Thanks a lot.
All right, have a great day, everybody. Mary Michele on WVIP's Meet the VIP. Thanks for everybody. And those of you watching on TV, have a good day. Great weekend also.
Time for a new suit? Go to the beach. For the look you want, in the size you need.
Do you know much about it?
Actually, I don't, so that's why I'm going to pay close attention today and take your calls. And so what are you going to talk about today? What are you going to look into? Any particular signs?
I wanted to talk a little bit about the chart in general, the way the chart is set up. I think it's very important for people to understand that when they read or listen to me on the radio, at the television, or anyone else, that you are getting the sun sign astrology. You're not getting what is the chart exactly, how your chart works. A chart is something, it looks like a pie. It has 12 parts to it. And what it is doing is it's setting up the exact time and geographic location of where you were born, as well as, the day and year. So when you look at the ascendant, which is the first portion of the pie, it starts on the eastern horizon, what we call the eastern horizon. You kind of have to understand what is exactly happening with astrology, and it's following the ancient belief of that we're coming from the Earth's point of view. Now we all know that it is no longer the sun that goes around the Earth, that it's the Earth that goes around the sun. But astrology still works with the premise that we are coming from where we are. It's our consciousness, how we perceive things. And I think this is something that's very important to understand. And science, as a rule, gets a little angry about the fact that we tend to think that it shouldn't just be around the Earth going around the sun, the sun going around the Earth. But if we have to look at things from our own point of view, always, because that's where we have to start. We have to start from. We can only be generous in our compassion and our beliefs and all these different kinds of things if we understand ourselves. So astrology is coming from the point of view that you are starting from the first. From an Earth-centered point of view, you're looking at all of these things that are happening, and the Earth, the sun going around the Earth, the ancient belief was that they were going along an ecliptic. There's a pattern of constellations. It's not exactly the way the constellations are in the sky. If you went and looked at them, and you realized that the Earth is actually going around the sun. It's a different perspective, but it does give the exact change and time of the seasons. It shows when the first day of spring is, which is the beginning of the astrological new year. All the original calendars dealt with the first day of spring as being the beginning of life. So anyway, with when you're doing a chart, you set it up and you have, as I said before, this round circle that's divided up into 12 pieces of the pie, 360 degrees. We're always dealing with numbers in astrology. Numbers is an ancient belief thing that's very very important as well. In the science of numerology and the Kabbalah, each number has a value, particularly the numbers 1 through 9, because these are the primary numbers. If you think about it, any number that you add to the number 9 will reduce to the same number. So if you add 1 to the number 9, what is that? That's 10. 1 and 0 is 1, so it reduces always to the number that you've added to 9. The same with 2. 2 and 9 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2, you see? So any number, you could add 1,335 to 9, and it will always reduce to the value of the number that you've added to 9. So this is kind of a mysterious thing, and it's something to contemplate, as most of the things are in astrology.
Francis?
Okay, Francis, hi.
I'm fine. Listen, now, I want to know about the rest of the year. How does it look money-wise, health-wise, travel-wise, whatever?
Okay.
Well, before we go on,
Francis, I can barely hear you.
Oh, I said I'd like to know about the rest of the year, money-wise, health-wise, travel-wise, whatever.
Okay, Francis, you have to give me your birthday.
Oh, January 8th, 1913.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my thing. Could you say it again?
January 8th, 1913.
Mary, can you hear me?
Not very well.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, wait, I'm coming. Wait a minute. January 8th, 1913.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, January 8th, 1913. You have the sun in the sign of Capricorn, which I'm sure you know, and you have the moon in Aquarius. Mercury in Sagittarius, and Venus in Aquarius. I must say that right at the moment, you're probably experiencing a lot of issues around having to deal with other people. There's a strong indication that you're perhaps having to work harder with... Are you married?
Widowed.
Widowed. Is there someone in your immediate sphere that you work with, that you live with, or that you see on a daily basis?
My age, I do home nursing.
You do home nursing. That's great.
And I'm still doing home nursing. Yeah.
That's wonderful. But is there kind of a relationship that's been worrying you a little bit?
Well, yes, in a way.
Yeah. I think that. This is something that's going to come to a head next week. We have the full moon in the sign of Aquarius, which is where all of these planets are that we're talking about, the moon and Venus and Uranus. So anyway, I think that it will come to a head and it will resolve itself. Is this relationship, would you say, it's one of the things that's been bothering you the most?
Well, a little bit concerned, yeah. Not bothered me that much at my age. I don't let anything bother me too much.
Right.
But a little concerned about any change, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it someone that you feel is going to leave you in the lurch? Is this person going to disappear, or?
Well, sort of, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is that you just, it will come to a complete, you'll come to an understanding of what this is about next week on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I think that,
yeah.
Certainly by the first of the year, the thing will have completely resolved itself.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
At my age, I don't worry too much about the future anyway.
Thank you very much for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. So, as I was saying, I was going back talking about the ascendant in the chart and how important it is. And I feel that we all should try and know, if you're at all interested in astrology, if it's something that works for you, I think that you ought to make the effort to, get a computer printout, or it's a very easy thing. You can go to any person that has a computer, and they'll usually do it for $2 or $3, and they'll tell you exactly what your ascendant is, that which is on the eastern horizon. The ascendant, or the rising sign, it's known as both things, is something that is considered the doorway into your into your essence, into your soul, into the part of you that you would like to learn how to express better. The sun sign is, where the sun was overhead at the particular time you were born, is something that it sometimes takes a long time to realize, because it takes us in life usually a long time to understand our will and what it is that we really need and want out of life. So what we concentrate on, or what is usually the first thing that we experience as a small child, is the moon. The moon is our patterns and habits and daily routines, and more often than not, up until a certain age,